Hey everybody, it's the Coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be an interesting matchup between the Indianapolis Colts and the Houston Texans. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday Night Football. And to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, thanks, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Indianapolis Colts and the Houston Texans. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, we look at this Texan ball club entering play here. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game, so they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Colts, they've come in on a nice run of recent form, 4 wins out of 5. It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. They go play action here on first down. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. And let's look here at the Houston offense.
DeAndre Hopkins was named All-Pro for the first time in 2017 and really don't have to do much but look at the statistics to know why. 4 touchdown grabs in 2016. Jumped that up to 13 in 2017. That led all NFL receivers. Also added in 96 catches and close to 1,400 yards. DeAndre Hopkins' ability to get free in the secondary is a marvel, mainly because of head fakes and body control.
And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line.
It's really simple to say that they know their identity, that they are a passing team. But one of the reasons that they're so successful, they know how to mix in the run and make sure that they keep the defense off balance and not able to just simply say, let's go get the quarterback and disrupt things.
To throw is Watson. He finds Humphreys. And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here, too. He may get a few more tacked on for good measure.
Defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Automatic first down.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. This is Clement. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend...
Tiger! Black 22!
And movement here by one of the Texans up front. In comes the flag.
False start. Offense.
Expect this from the visiting team when playing indoors, but not the home team.
They're supposed to get all the advantages, right? The home crowd's supposed to help them. They forgot where they were, perhaps.
And that false start penalty is certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Out of the gun, Watson. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. Call it a gain of 3. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency. These guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
13 yards on his first catch. It's a first down as well.
Every coach we ever talk to says to his team before the game, quick start, guys. Let's get out of the gate fast. How about that? They took his lesson to heart, didn't they?
They did exactly that. A nice diving catch here on the game's opening drive. Now a play fake here on first down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. It's a gain of 5, and that'll bring up second down.
I'm not sure that this play was designed for him specifically, but they got through the progressions and got the ball to him. So second catch on the drive. He may not be a primary guy, but they definitely want him involved, don't they?
Absolutely. This early, the opening drive, as you said, 2 catches. So if they can get him going in the passing game, that should open up his running game too. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down. So add that tackle for a loss to the 2 that he had a week ago.
And you know what he's doing right now?
Smiling?
Yeah, definitely doing that. But he's also patting his guys on the back, his defensive front, because they're keeping him clean, meaning no one's getting to him as a blocker. He's able to run to the football, and the plays he's making, he's spilling them in the offensive backfield.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. And Suckup will put this one right through, and it's now 3-0 Texans. So the first points of the night belong to our home team as they're able to take the opening kickoff and at least get 3 points out of it.
Yeah, and that helps the crowd, right? Helps people feel good about why they're there watching this game. They moved the ball well on their opening drive.
He's going to be stopped here with a penalty marker on the field.
Personal foul.
I'm not sure what this is about.
Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
The face mask moves him all the way out past the 40 now for first down. And they'll run it here. And he's not going anywhere to start the night. They stop him at the line of scrimmage. Jadeveon Clowney there on the stop.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Here we go. What? None. What? None.
Play fake. Brissett. Over the middle, complete. That's Burgess. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. That one for Indianapolis, resulting in 15 yards and a fresh set of downs.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Brissett on first down. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. The loss of 3 on that first down pass play. Now 2nd and 13. Play action now. Brissett. And that one falls incomplete. A 50-50 ball. A little dangerous. Could have been picked. Now it's third down.
Tremendous coverage there. Just did not catch the football and complete the interception. But what do they say all the time? If he had really good hands, he'd be playing offense.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Again, it's Brissett. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Doyle. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a fourth down. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Dante Hightower on the stop.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Down. Black 22. Black 22.
On 2nd down, here's Watson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 37, and he will return this one to the 30-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that. And they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Now they try the right side here. Nifty move. 7 yards on the carry. Make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down.
On that play, it was the defensive front that won the battle. They out-leveraged the offensive line, got into the backfield, and held them to no gain.
And Zerline's kick is good. And they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals. It's 6-3. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Now Deshaun Watson and his offense heading back out there. He'll look to shake off the interception on the opening drive. He should at least be comforted that it resulted in 3, not 6.
And if I were him, I would be the guy all the way out on the field greeting my defense now, saying thanks a lot. You held them to a field goal after I turned it over. That's a big defensive stand for them. He needs to go out now and make up for what he did. I'm trying to get out of there. I think it was an excellent effort by him just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Here's Watson now on 2nd down. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what...
Another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw is probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it...
And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DM.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well. And that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
Second down, Brissett. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Covers that time by Aaron Colvin.
Now, that's a pretty play right there, and what I'm thankful for is it wasn't me in that situation, because one of the toughest things about defending the deep ball is not panicking, because the longer you run with a receiver, you're trying to figure out, am I close to him? Can I make a play on the football? Will I be there when the ball actually arrives, what we call the moment of truth? And in this case, the defender did not panic, stayed right with it, and batted it away.
And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. So we played one quarter here on a Monday night. 6-3, that's our score. And they've got it here with a first down. And on the ground they go with the running back. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11. We've become so accustomed to it, you sort of take it for granted.
You really do, but he is so good that every team in his division, every year, is trying to make sure they draft people charged with trying to block J.J. Watt. So far, hasn't been too successful.
In on the tackle, it was Duke Ejiofor.
Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
The Colts on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. On play action, Brissett. He's going to let this one go deep. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A big play there. Hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Colts add on to their lead. Zerline connects on the extra point. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
And he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Faking the give, now Watson. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. First catch of the game for Hopkins. It's a first down.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. Got the guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
He goes full extension, and he's got it. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Hey, did you have one of those backyards that you had one of those, like, mats or pits like you have for high jumpers? And, you know, you had your friends throw the ball and you tried to make the spectacular catches?
I didn't need a mat.
you just did it with the ground?
Absolutely.
That explains your toughness. That explains your toughness right there, because I think that guy was raised just like you. What a catch.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal.
Well, as we've learned over the years, just because a guy plays left tackle doesn't mean he doesn't have run-blocking abilities. And we just saw it there. Controlled the line of scrimmage, created a big gain.
That's kind of a bonus. He's there to protect that high value that you have back under center, but he creates space in the run game.
Yeah, not only can he dance, he can mash, too.
And a little bit of space there, takes it inside the 5 to the 3. A pickup of 4 on first down. It'll be 2nd and goal. When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep.
Maybe even a little bit ahead, because now the defense can't dictate with pressure. They're guessing about...
And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. A great effort there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Texans have cut it to within a score.
I know the play ends up in the end zone with one person carrying the ball, but how about that big mass of humanity that guided him to that spot?
Yeah, they got there, but I love the dive. Always a fan of the dive. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. There have been points on the board. We just saw back-to-back touchdown drives. I love it. I'm high-fiving our statistician, Christian McLeod, and you're angry. You're a defensive guy.
If you met one of my defensive coordinators, God rest his soul, I'm surprised he isn't in this booth right now wanting to really take you on. This is not football the way he sees it. He wants a good old-fashioned kicking game, defense, field position, and we're getting an up-and-down-the-field game here.
I'll take him. Where's his tombstone?
Boot Hill, baby.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3.
Flex round! Flex round!
Off the play fake. Here's Brissett. He's got a man. It's Corey Coleman. It's his first catch, and it'll be good for 15 and a 1st down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. Tackle made by Whitney Merciless.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
A 2nd down throw for Brissett. Looking deep here for Ebron. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay, because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
On 3rd down, Brissett. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Oh, now he bowls him over. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. And now out comes Houston. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. They want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
That is incomplete.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Now a handoff looking right. And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable third down, because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
From the gun on third, Watson. Wide open receiver, complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. On first down, it's Watson. Caught inside Hopkins. And a loose football. And I believe the Colts have recovered. Yes, they have. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free. Anything you can do to slow them down.
And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 12-yard line. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Brissett now on 2nd down. Looking deep downfield. It got his man complete. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. A big play there for Indy. 64 yards.
Now that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. On 1st and 10, Brissett. And this one is incomplete. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored 1, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. To throw, Brissett. That is caught at the 7. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. The passing game for the Colts finding its stride, another first down. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal.
Flex round.
They go play action with Brissett. And he's going to find Doyle in the end zone for a Colts score. Jack Doyle, as the first half is winding down. And the Colts are able to grow their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
This one taken from the 7. Powers ahead at the 45. Good starting field position for the Houston Texans here as they come up 1st and 10. A final shot before the break. Watson. And that is incomplete. We now proceed to the start of the second half. Second half ready to get underway. The Colts with a lead, and they will receive the football. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. Through an opening, and there he goes. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Nyheim Hines, an even 90 yards. And the Colts add on to their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
So here's the Texans offense now. They get set to start this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But this is do that?
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. They'll run with Clement. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Colts territory. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. Watson, off play action. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. On 3rd down, Watson. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
And they'll go ground game here to the tailback. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. play fake. He'll look to throw. He's going to air one out. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Pass interference. Defense.
Well, the crowd doesn't like that. Was going to bring up fourth. Now it's first.
They don't like it at all, do they? It brings them back into it, but really not in a positive way. Now they're angry. That can jangle a team a little bit as well. Pass interference ruined that series of downs for them.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
They'll try to throw now. Brissett. Now he's got his target. It's caught for a Colts touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Colts are able to grow their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors. But that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Zerline out now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out now comes the Houston offense as you take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up.
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working.
Green the line! Green the line!
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it is going to be 15 yards.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10.
Green the line! Green the line!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
Green the line! Green the line!
On the carry, here's Clement. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a 1st down.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
The officials so cognizant
to call it.
Red! Black 22!
And they'll run it here. And now running right through it. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding. Offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he struggles to get a yard here, maybe a yard, down to the 31.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Now they try the right side here. And he'll get about 3 as he's brought down to the 28.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Now Watson to throw on third down. That's complete. Middle of the field to Humphries. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
Holding offense.
Well, they were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
It's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
So now they assess a 3rd and long, and that holding call might have knocked him out of field goal range, at least for the moment. Here's Watson. And he'll be brought down by the Colts.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
And the Colts coming out now. There have been no struggles here for this crew. I mean, they were up double digits at halftime, and they've just expanded that here in the second half.
And it appears there are no answers from the defensive side. I think right now, if I'm the coordinator, if I'm down on the field, if I'm wearing a hat, I've already thrown it. If it's a visor, it's sailed, right? My game plan is down by my feet right now because nothing I've drawn up appears to be working.
Well, he's going to have to find something right now to stop this offense. The tackle that time by Zach Cunningham. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
This is Hines. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That's good for an Indianapolis first down on a gain of 10.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. And on the ground they go to the running back. And he'll get this out past the 45 to the 47. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out. But a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Ohio! Ohio!
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
The Colts on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5.
Ohio!
Out of the gun, Brissett. The pass complete to Ryan Graham. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. Out now comes the Houston offense as you take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. Watson will bring up the Texans here 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
Now it's Watson. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down. So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. From the gun, here's Watson. Hopkins on the grab over the middle. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Third and long, it's Watson. And he'll find QT on the right side complete. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. 75 yards receiving for him now. It's a first down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Down. Black 22.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
Black 22.
On second down, here's Watson. And his throw here's incomplete.
I'm not even sure I know who this guy is out there playing right now. This is very unlike him, one of the most accurate guys in the league. Totally off his game right now.
I don't know. I was going to ask you what you pin it on, but defensively, they've been pretty solid.
Well, sometimes, you know, those defenders, they get into the receivers pretty well, and if they chip away at their timing, it's going to affect what you're doing throwing the ball as well.
It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a fourth down.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on fourth down. Back to throw, Watson. And able to catch it, but he's out of bounds. And the throw took him beyond the sideline, and that's going to be a turnover on downs. The Texans tried it, but they come up empty here on fourth. And the Colts are going to get the football in outstanding field position. Now, they've clearly made a conscious decision here to be more aggressive in the late stages of this game here in the second half.
And I get it. In this situation, you know, if you want to be aggressive out near midfield, you feel good about your defense maybe, or just, hey, I thought I had a proper play call. But how about the guys that just stopped them? How good do they feel right now? Hey, you want to go for it here? We shut you down. They're over on the bench right now feeling great. And sometimes things come together exactly like you want. It's not just been the volume of carries he's had in this contest. It's been the production as well.
Right back to him on first down. And he'll get it down inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
I know flashy plays, splashy plays, as people like to call them, that attracts a lot of attention. But let's face it, when you're efficient, that can control a ball game. And I love the game plan they've got going right now.
Back-to-back 5-yard gains. Didn't force the ball downfield. Picked it up on the ground.
Yeah, offensive line, they're getting it done.
And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves them back 5.
Still second down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. He'll get it to the 23-yard line. Able to pick up a healthy chunk of yards, 7-yard gain, but a tough 3rd and 9 upcoming.
That was a good run, and it got to the second level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle. And oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
And they'll get him down right about the 20. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down. And Zuerlein's kick is good. And that'll push the lead from 24 up to 27. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This one taken from the 7. Then he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
Factored in.
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Over the middle, that's caught by QT. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan 1st down. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
False start, offense.
Oh, moving from his tight end spot there.
Do you think that perhaps the play call was for him?
The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. That one good for 14 yards. And it'll be 2nd and about a yard to go for the 1st. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. To throw on 2nd is Watson. Over the middle, complete. It's Hopkins. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 16 yards on that one, and also a Texan 1st down. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. On 1st down, Watson. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he gets it down to the 32. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. To throw is Watson, and his throw is incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Black 22! Black 22!
Watson looks to throw again. And incomplete here on 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
And this is going to be taken in by the Colts. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click. And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So for the Colts, they get back to 500 now as the win moves them to 7-7. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Arizona to take on the Cardinals. Meanwhile, for Houston, their slim playoff hopes are gone now as they fall to 5-9. And they'll look to get back on the beam next week as they host the Pittsburgh Steelers.